Hello, my name is Minecraft Phenom08, and this is episode 12 of my 1 Billion Iron Ingot challenge. So today's episode is actually going to be a little bit different from the previous episodes, and that is because I had actually already shot this episode, and then about a week or two later, I realized that the footage is unusable because the video stream is complete blackness, but the audio is completely fine. I'm not really sure why that happened. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to show you exactly what I built and why I built it, and I might actually rebuild a component or two of this system. So the first thing I did is I set up this matter receiver and matter transmitter system, and I set up a matter receiver and a matter transmitter in 3 locations. One of them is here at my new base. One of them is in the Nether, and then one of them is at my old base. And so what we can do with this device right here called the dialing device is we can take this sender over here and dial it to the different receivers I have placed around the world. And so I'm going to dial that to the Nether receiver that I have placed in the Nether. And so I can teleport there by just simply stepping into this beam. So let's go ahead and do this. And that takes me here, and in the Nether here, I built a little area, and oh my goodness, that ghast is loud. Let me see if I can't fix that. Okay. Goodbye, ghast. So what I built in the Nether here is a void miner, and this is a tier 4 void miner, and it has the crystal miner upgrade, although it actually had a different upgrade initially, and I will actually run back to my main base and grab that in a second. But what we have here is a reactor from the modpack, and actually I'm going to go ahead and kickstart this reactor, and then I'm actually probably going to tear it down so that I can rebuild it real quick. So what the reactor from Power is it's simply 36 blocks of just the reactor basic right here is what it is called. And so how you build this, it's really simple. Is when you have it in your when you're holding it, basically it has an outline here that it shows you where it's going to build. Now it will auto build the structure. The structure will be 3 wide and 4 high. It'll be 3 by 3 by 4. And so once you place down the first block, if you have the rest of the blocks in your inventory, it will auto build. And it should auto-complete as well. So let's wait for that to happen. And then once it auto-completes, it will change textures. And the GUI here, you have 3 different inputs here. And actually, I think you can even throw in ice as well. There's actually 4 inputs, sorry. There's one for uraninite. There's one for redstone. There's one for coal. And then there's one for ice. The only thing that is required is this right here. This is the fuel. However, if you add coal and redstone, it basically makes the reactor more efficient and produce more power. It also heats up the reactor. So if we look at the stats over here, if we take, and actually I can't take out the coal. What the carbon does is it increases efficiency, but it also increases the amount of heat. And then the redstone over here, it increases the amount of fuel consumption and therefore the power that the reactor can make, but it also increases the heat as well. So if you throw an ice into here, it actually cools down the reactor and makes it quite a bit more efficient. It will generate more power if you do that, and more efficiently at that. So what I have is I built a little ME system, and it really is little. It's pretty much everything you can see here. It has an ME controller next to the reactor here. And these sides of the reactor, there are 4 of them. They are IO blocks. They can transmit energy and accept items. So what I have over here is I have the ME controller is right up against one of these reactor IO blocks essentially, and it is accepting power from that. And so that is how the ME system is getting power. And then in the back, what I have is an export bus set up to export coal, uraninite, and redstone. So basically, this reactor can run all of the time as long as I have the correct items in the terminal right here. So, and all of that powers this reactor powers this tier 4 void miner. And right now it's set up to be a crystal miner, but initially it was actually set up to mine mica. And let me actually just show that real quick. It was set up to mine this right here. And the only way to get this material is through the void miner. And what that material allows you to do is make upgrades. essentially like frequency upgrades and things for void miners. Excuse me. I keep wanting to call it a void ore miner because in the past there were different miners. There was a void ore miner, there was a void botanic miner, and a void crystal miner. I think those were the 3 different miners. But anyways, they've actually changed that in this version of environmental tech. And there's actually just one void miner, but you change what kind of what it's mining through these programs here. So that's why I keep trying to call it a void ore miner. But anyways, this was set up to mine mica. So actually, I think I grabbed all of it out of the system, and let me actually, let's just go ahead and explain the rest of the system. So on this void miner, I actually have three that IOs are actually FE inputs, and the 4th one is an item output, obviously. So this item output is not actually hooked up to the import bus directly, and that's because I found that the item outputs seem to be a little bit wonky with import buses. Some of the items seems to get through, and some of the other items seem to not get through for whatever reason. And I was having that issue with my void miner that I set up in the last episode. So I essentially did the same thing with that one as well. As I have this item pipe basically hooked up to extract the items out into some sort of storage, and it can be a chest. I'm using a modular storage unit from RF Tools, and then I have that imported into the ME system right here. So that is pretty much what I did in episode 12. Unfortunately, I'm not going to tear all this down and rebuild it. I did the reactor because that is actually something new that I haven't done in the past, but I've already set up an ME system in this series, and I've also set up void miners as well. So I just wanted to show what I did new, and so yeah, I set up this void miner, I set up that reactor, I set up my ME system right here, and I also set up a teleporter system that can get me to the Nether, to my old base, and to my new base as well. So I know that today's episode was a little bit different, and I didn't actually get to build a whole lot. Hopefully you still enjoyed it, and hopefully it at least keeps you informed of where I'm at in the series. If you did like it, definitely drop a like down below, and if you enjoy watching automation type stuff in modern Minecraft, typically I build stuff. Typically it's not like today's episode, but anyways, definitely subscribe to my channel if that would describe you. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.